911, what's your emergency? She's not moving, she's bleeding. We need help now. It was supposed to be another day of data collection, another quiet morning on the African savannah. But within minutes, the field camp turned into a nightmare. A dedicated scientist, a misunderstood predator, and a moment no one saw coming. This is the story of Laura Quinn, a brilliant hyena researcher whose final expedition ended in tragedy and forced the world to rethink everything we thought we knew about the most misunderstood predator in Africa. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who cares about wildlife, truth, and the risks researchers take to understand the unknown. Your support helps us continue telling the stories that matter. Let's begin. Laura Quinn was never drawn to fame. She was drawn to the wild. While most of her classmates in Chicago dreamed of law school or tech careers, Laura dreamed of open skies, dry grass, and creatures most people feared, and none more so than the hyena. Others saw monsters. She saw mystery. By age 22, she had earned a degree in zoology and joined one of the most prestigious predator behavior programs in Africa. Her specialty, the spotted hyena, Crocuta crocuta, a species with one of the most complex social structures in the animal kingdom. But Laura wasn't just another graduate student tagging animals. She was obsessed with their hierarchy, their vocalizations, their ability to coordinate and adapt. Hyenas weren't scavengers, she argued. They were strategists, survivors, and she was determined to prove it. The research station sat on the edge of a protected conservancy in Kenya, miles from the nearest town, surrounded by acacia trees, dry riverbeds, and the low, distant laughter of hyenas echoing through the night. To outsiders, the laughter was eerie. To Laura, it was language. She lived simply, solar-powered lights, a cot, and her field notebooks. She knew each hyena by name: Zuri, the matriarch; Nkosi, the challenger male; Tana, the curious juvenile with a limp. She knew their ranks, their grudges, their fears. Over 5 years, Laura became the go-to expert for vocal mapping of hyena clans. She published papers, gave lectures, but what set her apart wasn't just knowledge. It was her willingness to get close. Too close, some said. Researchers are trained to observe from a distance. Laura broke that rule. She sat among them as they fed. She mimicked their calls. She hand-fed injured pups in rehabilitation enclosures. Some colleagues admired her fearlessness. Others warned it was a matter of time. The warnings would prove prophetic. It was August 19th, dry season. Temperatures were rising. Water was scarce, and tensions among the dominant hyena clans were building. Laura had noted unusual behavior the night before: louder whoops, more aggressive posturing, a sudden shift in sleeping patterns. That morning, she left the camp at 5:42 a.m., as always, with a voice recorder, binoculars, and a pouch of raw meat for behavioral luring. She headed to the dried riverbed near Clan Hill, a known hyena den site, where she had recorded over 300 hours of data. Her assistant, David Mboya, was scheduled to join her an hour later. By the time he arrived, the scene was already unfolding, and it would haunt him for the rest of his life. According to his statement, Laura was on the ground, motionless. Hyenas circled her, some pacing. One, Zuri the matriarch, stood over her. David screamed, threw stones, fired the signal flare. The hyenas scattered, but Laura didn't move. Rescue teams were called, but response time in the bush is slow. By the time medics arrived, she was gone. She had sustained catastrophic injuries, bite trauma to her neck and thigh, consistent with a predatory hold. The torn artery, massive blood loss. The official cause of death, exsanguination due to hyena attack. But the question no one could answer was, why? Laura had spent hundreds of hours with these animals. They knew her. They'd never shown this level of aggression before. The autopsy confirmed there were no signs of a fall or medical episode. This wasn't opportunistic feeding, it was targeted. Within days, the media seized on the story. Hyenas kill American researcher. Death in the wild. Nature turns on its own? Some painted the hyenas as monsters. Others blamed Laura for getting too close, for forgetting the line between observation and interaction. But the truth, like the hyenas Laura studied, was more complex. Experts reviewed her notes. They found field entries describing rising tension in the clan. Zuri's dominance was being challenged. A new male, Nkosi, had been growing bolder, testing boundaries. Laura had speculated in her journal that she was becoming a variable in the social balance. She had even written, "If I ever vanish out here, it won't be random. It'll be political." That chilling line became central to what came next. Behaviorists explained that hyenas, unlike lions, don't always kill out of hunger. Sometimes it's about power, territory, message. Laura had become embedded in the clan hierarchy, and when the structure fractured, she may have been caught in the middle. The field camp was closed. The hyenas were not euthanized. Laura's family insisted she would never want that. But the program was suspended indefinitely. Back home, her death sparked both mourning and debate. Was she a martyr for science? Or a cautionary tale? Her colleagues remember her not as reckless, but as radical, in the best way. A woman who believed that to understand nature, you had to get close enough to be uncomfortable, to be vulnerable. The Laura Quinn Foundation was established just months after her death, supporting young researchers, improving field safety, and funding ethical predator studies. Her final paper, posthumously published, was titled "The Distance Between Us." It ended with a line that now reads like a eulogy. To see the animal clearly, you have to risk being seen by it. Hyenas are not villains. They are not symbols of evil. They are survival made flesh. Complex, strategic, brutally intelligent. And that's what Laura Quinn spent her life trying to show us. She died doing what she loved. But her death was not meaningless. It reminds us that the wild does not follow scripts, that nature doesn't bend for passion, and that even in the name of understanding, we must tread carefully in a world that was never ours to control. If this story moved you, if it made you pause, reflect, or question, then let it be the beginning. Support wildlife research, respect the boundaries of the wild, and honor those who walk into it with open hearts and open eyes. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share Laura's story. Because some stories are too important to forget, even if they end in silence.